Alright, so I just got spam pinged on Discord with a bunch of notifications, because apparently there is something I need to react to. There's a ban list. Now, we were expecting a ban list, because obviously on the ladder right now, there is one very, very predominant FTK going around that is just... It is nearly it's basically 100% consistent, and there's no real hand traps that stop it outside of like Crow and Droll. All the standard things like Imperm and Veiler, it just ignores, it doesn't care about Nibiru, which makes it a very consistent FTK that a ton of people were farming with, considering it's also incredibly cheap. There is like no expensive cards in it whatsoever, so we were expecting a ban list because this shit needs to go, otherwise it's going to be on the ladder for the next 6 months as the #1 farming ladder deck to get all your ranked rewards. So it's going to be gone. I assume that's what this ban list is, but judging by the sheer amount of pings I got, I'm expecting a lot more on this. I don't know what's going to be on it. I'm hoping it's going to be something exciting and worth a reaction, but just judging by the pings, I assume it's something, so let's have a look. Alright, what do we got? Black Pendant and Dragon's Gunfire. Okay, so Dragon's Gunfire is the main one. That's the main part of the FTK. But I'm glad it looks like they're hitting other cards as well. This is a bit weird because I was kind of hoping they'd nerf the skill specifically, because the problem is the skill just draws your entire deck. So no matter what burn cards you nerf or what things you change, unless you actually nerf the skill itself, they're drawing their whole deck. So they're just going to draw into some other FTK or some other degenerate combo or whatever else. Even if it's like slightly less consistent or just has to use more cards that are more not as safe to hand traps, people are still going to use it to farm with, because that's what the main use of it is. They're not taking it to tournaments or anything, they're just farming the ladder with it, because it's just easy farm deck. So I'm glad to see they're hitting some other cards. I don't really know. I hope this just absolutely destroys the FTK. But there was also a ton of other FTKs going around. Like, there was a bunch of ones using the Rabbit skill that came out. There's also the skill that was halving life points to 2,000. They're FTKing with that as well. So, I don't know what... Honestly, let's see what's on this ban list. It looks like it's a pretty big one, actually. I don't know what... Okay, anyway. So, Black Pendant, this is a 500 burn one. The funny thing about this one is this was used in FTK literally, like, a billion years ago. The Woodland Sprite Tier 0 meta FTK, which had to get emergency banned, was using this card. So it looks like it took them like, what, 7 years to finally decide, yeah, maybe we should do something about that. So finally they decided to nerf the Woodland Sprite FTK. Good on them. Was got the Dragon's Gunfire, this is obviously the main one, 800 damage, was getting recycled and used a billion times, so good thing they got rid of this one. I was expecting just like half burn damage or something, not actually just limited, but sure, I guess. Burning Lands? This is like the Taya... Oh my god, this ban list is ancient looking. This should have happened when Taya Burn was around, man. This was using the Taya Burn FTK literally decades ago. They decided, you know what? Now we're gonna nerf it. Just 10 years later, they decided to nerf this card. This ban list looks like a nostalgia trip right now. Alright, going through all the history of Duel Links FTKs, they finally decided to nerf now. Alright, what do we got? Stone! Okay, I mean, this was being used for specifically drawing your deck a bunch, which is what they put as the reason here. People using it for, in their draw stuff. But I do think it's kind of a little bit of a shame. I don't think this card was being abused a little bit, but... I mean, I guess having it limit 1 doesn't matter too much, because normally this card is only being used 1 copy of in a lot of stuff, but it does obviously... Now it can no longer be used alongside FTKs, but people can still use this card for other stuff if they feel like it. Because the card itself isn't that... It's kind of a rare effect to grab spells back from graveyard like this, so it's kind of nice to still have it around, I guess. Just now it won't be used in FTKs, hopefully, unless people find more degenerate stuff. But judging by this list, I assume they hit literally everything, so... Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is funny. There was a Reddit FTK that people were using on Reddit. I never made a video on it because it seemed like it was a lot more of a challenging FTK to do, a bit more difficult. It also like it might have been affected by things like Veiler and stuff, so a lot less inconsistent, or more inconsistent, more easy to sort of disrupt. So, there was, I don't even know how it really worked. It just involved a shit ton of fairies, and just looping the fairies for burn damage or something, so... Yeah, sure, this one was being used to draw a bunch of cards apparently. Yeah, I don't know how the FTK worked exactly, I just saw it was on Reddit, and it looks like they decided to hit it, so sure, I guess. That was another one of the main FTKs going around, though I actually didn't really encounter this one, so it wasn't that popular. It was nowhere near as popular as the other one. I assume this is the same deck, because they're both fairies, so same FTK, whatever. Cool, cool, cool. Who the hell is this? Shimoji Soldier. This card, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 1%. You attach one materials, then take one of these effects. Start your opponent's next standby phase. Each player draws 1. Each player gains 1,000 life. So just gaining a life? I have no idea what FTK this was a part of. If there was an FTK with this card, I have not seen it yet, but it must have existed somewhere. What were people doing with this? They would just make it so that the changing life points to burn damage, maybe? Instead, like they were doing the, I forgot what the card is called, but they flip it over to do burn damage instead. I don't know where that's from, but that must have been part of an FTK. This is the FTK ban list, apparently. Okay, yep, sure, very classic. Another one of the classic burn cards. I think this was also in Taya Burn. Another 500 damage dunked off the list, so sick. Another classic Taya Burn card. Dude, these are all Taya Burn cards. It's so funny to see this happen literally 17 decades later. Like, they could have done this years ago when this FTK was around. These FTKs have been around for so long, these spell cards being used. It's good to finally see Konami actually ban them. Though I can't remember if these were doing 1,000 damage when they were originally using Taya Burn. Surely not. Surely it was only 500. Either way, this is like, it's so funny seeing this. It's just so delayed. What the fuck is this one? Oh, I didn't even see this one before. This wasn't even used in Taya Burn, so it must be a more recent FTK tool doing 500 damage. Like, this one's balanced though. You can FTK yourself. 250 damage to yourself. Self-FTKing. Alright. And is this another FTK tool? Sure. Your life points are 3,000. His life points are higher than 3,000. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Okay. Understood. Oh, a pot card. So 200 you gave us, shuffle into the deck. Yeah, this is the shuffle back. This one very much surprises me though, that they bothered to hit this, because it was being used as part of like the FTK tool to get back the burn cards, which would make sense because it allows you to recycle these burn cards. But they're going this hard on all the burn cards. Do we need to hit the pot as well? Especially considering it's like a pot that is like, could be used in other decks. I get that like, it can still be used in decks that don't have limit 1s. It's not actually banned, but I don't know. I don't like this pot being hit particularly. I think it's kind of like, there were some people that probably used it outside of FTKs. Not many, but there were probably some uses for it outside of that, which I think it's kind of sad to see the pot being put on here. Every pot's just slowly making its way to ban lists. Limit 3? Okay, I just expect to see a bunch of these guys. Limit 3s? Oh, the draw cards now, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. This was a very hefty draw thing. Though this one's only been used at 1. They're only using this at 1 in the deck currently, so that's kind of odd to be limiting this to 3. I guess they had to literally put this alongside Into the Void, I guess. Which, to be fair, you didn't even need Into the Void if you wanted to play the deck, so there must be a bunch of other things on here at 3, I imagine. Yeah, Wand. Wand makes sense, because you just target one of your spell cards as you draw 2, considering your, I think, is Joan a spellcaster? She must have been a spellcaster, I think. She must have been. And you just target Joan and tribute, draw a bunch of cards. Yes, this makes sense. It's also used in a bunch of FTKs for years, by the way, so it also makes sense. It is a little bit sad, though, because there were some decks, like Exodia decks, by the way, that would use this, which is, I mean, to be fair, Exodia decks are just FTKs as well, but Exodia is a bit more, at least slightly more based, and also more more inconsistent, I'd say. But sure, I guess. Yeah, these are still draw cards. All the draw cards being hit. I'm not sure if I mean, it's good they're hitting them all together, so you can't play them all together, because this does deal with, like, every FTK using them, but some of these cards, like, could be used in other decks in the future. Now, having them at 3s on them makes it really hard to want to use them. Especially, like, cards like this are super, like, generic, right? You're just banishing a 7, drawing 2. Any deck that was playing 7s would want to use this in the future, potentially, and now it's, like, not really going to want to use it, which I think is a real big shame. I know, this is like, it's nice they're getting rid of FTKs, it's nice they're targeting them, but I do think it's a shame that cards like this are getting hit in the crossfire. Cards that actually have, like, real uses outside of just FTKs, like real cards. Oh, come on, Dark World's having a rough time as it is, man. When was the last time you saw a Dark World player actually play a playable deck? Come on, man, we can't limit their cards. Really? I mean, it was a good draw. Come on, really? Did we have to hit this one? Was that actually necessary? Come on, guys. Dark World did justice for Dark World. They did nothing wrong. Really? Oh my god. Alright, this was just more Exodia stuff. I guess Exodia got Giga Nerf from this too. No more Exodia decks, smile. And that's it. Alright, well, Honestly, that was more than I expected, but very funny. They sort of target hit the specific deck the most, and they also hit a bunch of potentially replacement burn cards, which is nice too. Granted, there will be someone that comes up with another FTK. There already were other FTKs that weren't addressed on this, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure the half life point FTK is still around, I think, from this. There's 100% still FTKs that'll be available for people that are still looking for that stuff, but hopefully this will deter the most common one, the cheapest one, the easiest to build one, the one that's actually pretty much immune to most hand traps. That's the one that needed to go, because that's the one that was going to be used ridiculous amounts. That's good, that's probably gone now, so that is the main thing. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching, hope you see the next one. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is this a good ban list? Is this a bad ban list? What did they miss? Where's the Shadol hits? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Laters.